What's up, everybody? My name is Trent. Today we are bringing you Music and Motivation with Maxwell Ivy. Max is better known as the blind blogger, and he wanted to lean into his fear of singing in public. And guess what? He's going to do that mixed with motivational messages. We did a live event, and we decided, you know what? It was a long event. Let's break this up into digestible bites so you can get all these wonderful messages that Max has presented, and we're going to put them into weekly episodes. So each week, look forward to another song and message from Max. And with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Max.
Buck up, little buckaroo, don't let the monkeys get to you. Hold on tight and you'll get through. Buck up, little buckaroo. Cheer up, little sunshine girl, there's lots of pain in this old world. Lots of rain falls on you, girl. Cheer up, little sunshine girl. Oh, it's gonna be alright. Alright, I want you to know that you've come a long, 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 long way. And you've still got a long way to go. Buck up on your bootstraps, boys. Hold your ears, here comes the noise. Watch your posture, watch your voice. Pull up on your bootstraps, boys. Mind your P's and mind your Q's, and dot your I's and pay your dues. Don't forget to shine them shoes. Mind your P's and mind your Q's. Oh, it's gonna be alright. Alright, I want you to know that you've come a long, 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 long way. And you've still got a long way to go. You can and shalls and could you would, you coulda, shoulda, if you would. Get it done and do it good. You can and shalls and could you woulds. Oh, need I say I told you so? I tell you that so you'll know. Take it easy, take it slow. Need I say I told you so? Oh, it's gonna be alright. Alright, I want you to know that you've come a long, 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 long way. And you've still got a long way to go. Oh, we've come a long, 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 long way. And we've still got a long way to go. You know, I sing that song for a couple reasons. One, it was gifted to me by a woman named Donna Jean Foster, who I met on the train from Philadelphia to New York City in 2018. It don't get much more country than meeting somebody on a train that sings country music. So, but I love the end of that song because it's a reminder that no matter how far we've come, no matter how much we've done, no matter how much we've grown, no matter how much we've struggled, we're never done. We're not intended to be done. You know, we have the ability, the opportunity to continue to grow and challenge ourselves, to find new opportunities, and to experience every single one of them. And it's also a reminder that just because you haven't succeeded to the point that you feel like you should have by now doesn't mean you're an imposter. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It may just mean that you're using somebody else's definition of success. And so, like for me, for example, I'm doing this this thing tonight with the help of Trent Bray, somebody I met in the last few weeks. This particular thing I've been working on for 3 years, or talking about it at least. But I started my first website 13 years ago. I became the blind blogger 6 years ago. I started What's Your Excuse 4 years ago. I started doing podcast interviews 8 years ago. I started helping people get booked on podcasts about 5 years ago. I wrote my first book in 2014, and I just published my fourth book in was it July, I think. So at this point, I've accomplished a lot of things, but I'm continuing to challenge myself and learn and do better at it. And there are days when I think, I'm personally successful. I'm very satisfied with the work I'm doing, and my piggy bank just ain't caught up to the rest of me yet. But I think one of the reasons why a lot of people get frustrated is because they're using the wrong measure of success. They're thinking strictly of their social media following, strictly of the return on their investment, how much money they're making or not making, how many people are watching their podcast or not watching it. And one of the ways that I continue to move forward is to treat things as an experience and to try to enjoy and savor them and learn as much as I can from them. And sometimes that means deciding that the way I've been doing it for a while wasn't quite working and maybe I need to do it some other different way. But it's really just continuing to learn and grow and to appreciate who I am, how far I've come, and hopefully how much farther I still have to go. But one of the things I think would really help is if we stop, and of course I'm not the only person who believes this, I'm sure you've heard this before, is we compare ourselves to other people who are more successful than us, outwardly successful, because just because somebody has a big house and a big car doesn't mean they're personally happy on the inside or behind the closed doors. But we look at people who we think are doing more than we are, or that have accomplished more than we have. And this actually was part of my problem, why it took me 2 years to accept my role as the blind blogger, somebody who could inspire others by sharing his experiences and the lessons. And yes, singing for y'all. It took 2 years for me to accept that because I looked at other people who are visually impaired, especially. And I followed the progress of people like Eric Wehamere, who had climbed the 7 summits, including Everest, and just a year or two ago rafted to Colorado. Like Rachel Skadoris, who has finished the Iditarod a couple of times. Or like, Tom Sullivan, a wonderful musician, entertainer, documentary film guy. He even had a regular spot on Good Morning America for probably 20 years. And these are people who, at one point I would be like, my story isn't all that special. I haven't done anything yet. I haven't accomplished anything big or crazy yet. And then thankfully, my friend Adrian Smith, who I like to refer to as my blogging mama, reminded me of a few things. One was that those people are at different points of their journey. They had different goals than I did, and they had different reasons to accomplish those goals. Because in my case, all I really wanted to do was to build a website that would help me bring in some money and support the family. Whereas some of these other people, they had a real compulsion to do some of those things that they did. Another thing that she pointed out to me, and that others have since, is that there are a lot more people who dream of starting a blog or a podcast or writing a book or recording an album than dream about climbing Everest or rafting to Colorado. That has been a great reminder, because it lets me know that every day or every time I put out new content, I'm an example to those people who haven't yet launched their creative work out into the world. That, as many of y'all have said, if Max can do it, then what's my excuse? So that's an important, but the most important thing, and it really ties in great with what Trent said during my intro today. Adrian, who I refer to as my blogging mama, I like to make sure I get that in because it's 100% truth. She explained that there are lots of people in the world who don't have a built-in roadblock or excuse. They don't have a physical disability. They don't have a mental disability. They don't have anything other than their own desire that's stopping them from accomplishing their goals. Yet they sleepwalk through their days. They don't show up in life, and they accept the position they're in. They live in a position that's comfortable, even if it's uncomfortable as far as accomplishing their real dreams. because it's just what they're used to. And so there are all these people in the world who don't have an excuse. And she's like, Max, you have a perfect excuse. Nobody would say the first thing about you if you decided you wanted to sit on your couch, collect government assistance, watch TV, and eat junk food. Nobody would say nothing about that. But the fact is, you couldn't live with that. You've decided to show up every day or most every day and do what you can to get closer to your goals and to encourage others to do the same. So when it comes to those days when you feel frustrated, when it's like, I've been doing everything right and I'm still not anywhere close to my goal, then think about, what was your goal? Has your goal changed? Was it ever really your goal to start with, or was it your friend's goal, your neighbor's goal? Was it a family member? Did you see the Kardashians or one of the other online influencers and think, I should be one of those? What was your goal? If it isn't truly who you are and what you're about and where you want to go, the kind of thing you want to be remembered for in your life, then you get to change it. You get to decide. You can go for some other different goal. If the goal really is your goal, then it's time to adjust what you think about as far as success. Are you using your measure or somebody else's? And a good example of that is my first book. When I published Leading You Out of the Darkness into the Light, all I wanted to do was to get it published. I just wanted to get it out in the world, and hopefully it would encourage at least one person to take action. And man, were those goals exceeded. And now, as I've published more, my goals have gotten bigger to where this next time I want to have a bestseller. It did not happen with my fourth book, but it did happen with a book I contributed to called My Defining Moments, Stories of Survival. So that was cool. I am now a best-selling author because I've reached out to somebody. I asked them about including my story in a book of other people's stories, and it happened. So is it your goal? Are you using your measure of success, other people's success? And are you enjoying it? Because we can always find enjoyment in what we're doing, even if we aren't getting paid for it. So I record my podcast because I enjoy having conversations. I go on other people's podcasts because I enjoy sharing my story and encouraging other people. So I encourage you to find the joy in what you're doing. If you've lost it, then sit down and take some time to remind yourself, why was it you started doing this thing? Why did this become a goal for you in your life in the first place? And if you need some help getting back to the beginning, back to why you started this journey, then reach out to me and we'll talk about it.